Welcome to another session in this series. In the previous session, we ended on question 137. In this session, we move on to question 138. The question says we should find the value of m in the diagram. So we are looking for this angle. Okay, cool. Now, when you look at this triangle, we can add these two angles, 68 and x, to give us what? 2x. Because the sum of two opposite angles give us what? The exterior angle. The sum of two opposite interior angles give us what? The exterior angle. Cool. All right, so if you add 68 plus x, you should have 2x, which is right here. Okay, this plus this gives us this exterior angle, so we can easily find x. Okay, so we have 2x minus x to give us what? 68. So x is equal to 68. Cool. Now we know the value of x, so we can easily find m, right? Because 2x plus m should give us 180. The angles on the line are supplementary. Okay, so 2x plus m is equal to 180. So m will be equal to 180 minus 2x. We know the value of x to be what? 68. Okay, cool. So we can just put it inside. So we have 180 minus 2 times 68. So m will be equal to 180 minus 136. So our m will be equal to 44. Okay, which is C. All right, let's move on to question 139. We've been given this side PM to be 10 centimeters, okay, and then MN to be 6. So we've been told that this is a right angle right here. MNP, this angle, is 90, and NPQ is also 90. So we can easily find this side because this is a right angle triangle, and we can apply what? Pythagoras theorem. That says that if this is A and this is B and this is C, then A squared will be equal to what? B squared plus C squared. Okay, where A is the hypotenuse, the longer side. So that means 10 squared will be equal to what? 6 squared plus, let's call this side, this line here, let's call it what? P. Okay, now what's P squared? So we find P to be what? P squared will give us 100 minus 36. So P squared is equal to 64. Okay, so we can take square root of both sides, and then P will now give us what? 8. Okay, you can put this in your calculator, you find that P will give us 8. So this side here is 8. Okay, now we've been told that this line and this line are equal in magnitude. Okay, cool. How do you know this is equal in magnitude? Because of this sign over here. Okay, so if this side P is P, then that means this side is also what? P. That means this side is also P. Okay, cool. So now you'll be asked to find NQ, which is this side. Okay, so let's call that place Q. Okay, Q. All right, now this triangle is a right angle triangle, so we can use what? Pythagoras theorem. Sorry, we can use Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so that will be Q squared is equal to P squared, which is this side, plus P squared again, which is this side. Okay, plus P squared. So we have 8 squared plus 8 squared. That will give us what? 64 plus 64, and that will be 128. So our Q squared is 128. So we can take the square root of both sides. If you put this in your calculator, you get 8 square root of 2. So that is our answer, which is C. Okay, cool. Let's move on to question number 140. The question says The interior angle of a regular polygon of n sides is 120. What's the value of n? So it says the interior angle 180 n minus 2 all over n is what? 120, where n is the number of sides. Okay, cool. Now you just need to find n, right? So we can write this as 120 over 1. Then we do a cross multiplication. Okay, cool. So we are going to have 120n is equal to 180n minus 360. If we rearrange this, then we'll have 180n minus 120n to give us what? 360. Okay, this comes here, and then this goes there. Okay, we have this. Okay, cool. So that means we would have 60n to give us 360. We can just divide by 60, and then we find our n. 60 cancels out, and this goes here how many times? 6. So our n, which is the number of sides, is equal to 6, which is D. Alright, let's move on to question number 141. Okay, cool. In this question, we've been given that in the figure, MO is parallel to PQ. This right here is parallel to PQ. Okay, now we've been also given that NP is equal to the magnitude of NP is the same as the magnitude of PO. So these are the same. What this means is that this is an isosceles triangle. Okay, so these two angles will be the same. Okay, so if we call this angle here to be x, then this angle here will also be what? X. Okay, cool. Now, but these two lines are what? Parallel. That means we can have what? Alternate angles. From this line here, you can have alternate angles. Okay, since this line crosses these two parallel lines, we have alternate angles right here. Okay, so that means this angle is the same as this angle because they're alternate. A. Okay, so A. That means our x is equal to what? A equals A. Okay, now that we know that this angle is the same as x is the same as A, then we can add these two angles to get what? 180, because they are supplementary. Okay, so 4a plus x, which is what? We know that x is the same as a, so we can just replace it and write plus a should give us what? 180. So we have 5a equals 180. We can divide both sides by 5, so we can cancel out 5. So we'd have a to give us what? 36, which is a. Okay, cool. I think we'll have to stop here for now. In the next session, we'll move on to question number 143. Okay, thank you so much for watching this session. See you again next time. Bye.